This role, I feel like, you really get to flex this creative muscle of yours. Tell me a little bit about, I don't know, what keeps you coming back to these morally gray, complex characters?
Is this a Paul question? This is
Yes,
definitely
this
a
is
Paul
a Paul
question.
question.
Yeah,
Sorry, Eric.
it's okay. I'll defer.
Probably as I get a little gray myself, I come back to the gray area. But I know it's all you're right. That's a very insightful thing to say, honestly. That's exactly the goal that I'm trying to do, is get into these complicated individuals who, like all of us, have several sides. It's like a mobile where you're hanging with different pieces coming off. The stem is our human soul. In all of these characters, we can be different people. I once said that to, I don't know, Beto O'Rourke at something. I said, you can have two things going on at the same time, I told him. He said, I feel a little guilty that I'm not doing as much campaigning and I'm here taking a swim in Katuitt Bay with you. I said, Beto, you can be guilty and have fun swimming. You can do both. So Eric and I talk about this a lot, that we were inserting that into the character all the time. We can have two, and they can be conflicting. This is what makes us all interesting human beings. There's stuff going on for us right now that's not just one dimensional. Right
Mhm.
now in our interview. And that's the stuff that is, I think, really a touchstone of the truth of true life on stage. And to create that, it takes a little bit. It didn't do it when I was younger, but I can do it better now as I get older.
Yeah,
Good answer.
Eric,
I like
fabulous.
I like I like positive reinforcement. I should tell you that.
I love that. That's how I live off positive reinforcement.
That's good, and you deserve it. And you must be really happy.
I try,
That's good. Yeah, that's the idea. I try.
it all stems from gratitude. I feel like everything comes from a place of like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
lucky.
and okay with being alive. A kind of
Yeah,
love of the existential moment. I mean,
yeah,
nothing is a drag. That's
yeah.
cool.
Eric, now listen, this is let's say based on a true story, inspired by real events.
Yes, it's true-ish. That's what I call it, true-ish.
Yes, I want to talk about just your draw to it. Like, how deep of a dive did you go into this, and at one point, did you ever feel like you had things figured out?
I probably, in my secret heart, feel like I know everything that happened that night at the Gardner Museum, except who did it and where the paintings are. But I know everything else.
But that's really that. I have to compliment Eric. That's really the best part of the movie. Everybody seems to want to know who did it and where the paintings are because we've been watching so much like crime stories like that one called CIS or whatever it's called. They're all looking for like who did it and where are the paintings. I'm going, that's so dull. I love the idea that, Eric knows everything else, and that was what our movie was about. Everything else but that.
Everything else. Everything else with the boring bits. We cut out the boring bits and we did the fun.
Find out the stuff you can find on Google. Ask Siri about where are the paintings.
That's right. That's right. But the characters were really strong. The one truth that we do know about the robbery is that all the people that are talked about of having perhaps some association with doing it and the people around it are all really interesting. So that was the premise of the movie. Find a couple of characters that are the most interesting, put them together in a mashup and see, well, what if it happened this way? That was the premise.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear about your collaborative process and how that evolved while you were actually shooting.
Well, I mean, it doesn't become anything. I mean, we had Paul in mind from day one. So I wrote to Paul. So my relationship with Paul started before I even met him, because we were writing the character towards something. And then the realization, it's along the lines of what Paul just said, is that his ability to do two things simultaneously really shaped the story in the relationship between him and this young man. It was always a story about a mentor and their student, because that's how actually I came to Paul, is because of my mentor. So I wanted to write a movie about a mentorship, but filling in the details of that mentorship and how the mentorship works. That's between the actors. That's Paul and Taylor. And we found that through Paul, because of his ability to do things simultaneously, he was able to both manipulate this kid into doing what he wants, which is open the door of the museum, but at the same time, raise him up in a way. And I thought that was a really interesting place to explore. That's what we mind all the time.
No.
And Eric is a big part of this. It's a triad, really, even more so. It also includes the director of photography and many other people who were working on it get involved in the relationships, in the collaboration. And Eric, being open and curious guy, he really initiated the collaboration. He's being humble. Can't you tell? As a matter of fact, we're collaborating a little now. I mean, he was the part that you need the director to initiate and really guide the collaborations, all of them. It has to be part of it. It has to be open to changing some of his mind. And when you feel that, then that's when this, as we call it, the runway is built, and then you have a plenty of chance to land or take off. And that's to Eric's credit, man. And I've worked with a lot of directors. I could list them if you want to, but we'd be out of time.
I love the love that you two have for each other.
Yeah.
Um, I-
It's authentic. It's real. It just comes. I mean, plus Eric likes the same things I like. Go to the pool and first let's order a crudité before we take a swim.
Yeah.
And let's
Yeah.
get a really interesting green drink full of vitamins and minerals.
Sounds like my kind of day.
Yeah, not bad.
So, Paul, if you could ask your character one question off the record, what would it be?
Where's my keys? No, if I asked him one question off the record, wow. Yeah, that would be hard because I don't think this. I'm already feeling slightly tense about it because I feel actually would be nervous asking this guy anything. I don't know how he's going to respond. I don't know if I have Paul, has the ability to ask a direct question to this guy because he may take it to totally the wrong way. If I ran into this guy, I would look for the nearest subway stop and get on the train. I would not talk to him. He's that kind of, he's there, he's present, but I wouldn't want to have to kind of, arm wrestle with him.
Okay, lastly, I'd love to hear from both of you just describing this film. What would you want viewers to know? What are they in store for?
Well, it's a heist film about the Gardner Museum robbery from 1990, which is a true story. It is a creative take on what might have happened that night, and you may or may not find the answers within it, but you will have a great time. And the reason why you'll have a great time is because the other person on this call is such a great master at his craft, and it's enjoying the things that we care about most, which is people, their relationships, and how people get other people to do stuff, and are people able to change in the course of other events going on in their lives that wind up being bigger than they are.
And if I could just add that Boston is a character in the movie too, and I'm from there, and there is an element of, because it's small and contained and dense, there's a kind of intimacy developed. So these kind of intimate relations, people get right on you with like who they are and what they need. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of feeling people out and trying to guess what they do or anything, because everybody seems to live in their sections because you know, it's kind of parochial, and they just come right at you with who they are. Even guys I know, like Mark Wahlberg is a friend, and he just says, "Hey, I don't pay it. I just am who I am." He says as he does it to this day, even though he's producing a movie or doing something and making a big deal. I'm just going to tell him what I do. He just shows up as the Boston character. He kind of embodies it.
Yeah, you did too in
Yeah,
this.
I play a character that does. I like to think of myself a little more continental, but that's okay. Some people really stay in Boston. Not a bad place to stay, I have to say.
Yeah, not bad at all. You two, I had such a great time with you today. It was really great to hang out and chat, and loved this movie so much. Loved seeing what you did with it.
Oh, thanks for saying that. And it
Yeah.
was nice hanging out with you. It felt like a chat.
Mm.
If you want
Yeah,
to
we're
order
all
a green drinks with full of vitamins and minerals, we'll meet you by the pool.
we're
Yes,
all kind of in living rooms. This was very relaxed. I liked it a lot.
you should do this more often. We'll
You got it.
we'll meet
Yeah.
again next week.
Yeah, I'll order room service.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.